I've always loved the opening scene in old school movies. All the classic ones, like Roman Holiday or Sabrina. The way they capture the essence of the city, the mood, the feeling. So here goes nothing. Our story begins in a city that never sleeps. Neon lights paint the wet pavement in hues of desire and dreams. The year is 2023, a time when romance was a luxury few could afford. Amidst the towering glass buildings and bustling crowds, two strangers are about to cross paths under the same umbrella of fate. They say a glance can speak volumes, but what happens when that glance changes everything? Enter Amaya, a young architect with eyes that held the wisdom of old souls and the determination to sculpt her dreams into reality. Her blueprints weren't just about structures, they were about shielding her family from the harsh winds of life. For Amaya, family wasn't just a word. It was a fortress she was determined to build one drawing at a time. Carrying the weight of her family's struggles on her shoulders, she navigated the concrete jungle, hoping to turn her paycheck into a shield against the crashing waves of despair. With every late night at the office, she inched closer to her goal, dreaming of a day when her designs wouldn't just touch the sky, they'd hold it. Then there's Renji, an artist whose hands once sketched dreams and now only drew shadows. His notebook was a battlefield of torn sketches and failed attempts at capturing the city's chaotic beauty. Lost in his own world of muted colors and forgotten ambitions, he found solace in the gray areas of life, letting the city's melancholy blend with his art. With each stroke of his pen, he buried a part of himself deeper into the shadows, convinced that dreams were nothing but mirages in the desert of reality. Fate, however, had a different script in mind for these two souls. As the train rattled along its tracks, its rhythm echoing the pulse of the city, Amaya and Renji's paths collided in the most ordinary of ways. A crowded train station, a tired sigh, and a clumsy collision. In an instant, the world tilted on its axis. Her papers scattered like fallen leaves in a winter wind, and the ground trembled beneath their colliding gazes. In that split second, the cacophony of the city faded into a distant hum, leaving only the sound of their racing hearts. Amidst the chaos of their accidental encounter, something shifted. Their eyes locked, not in anger or annoyance, but in a shared moment of vulnerability and connection. A silent understanding blossomed between them, whispering promises of solace and shared dreams. For Amaya, this chance encounter brought a flicker of hope to her weary soul. In Renji's eyes, she saw a kindred spirit, someone who understood the language of dreams. Little did they know that this chance encounter would be the first brushstroke on the canvas of their intertwined destinies. But life, much like the city they inhabited, had its own rhythm, a melody that played on regardless of their dreams or desires. Dreams cost more than anyone admits. Bills pile up, expectations crush the heart, and sometimes love feels like a luxury no one can afford. Flash forward to the current day, Amaya's boss yells at her for being late. Renji tears up his latest sketch, frustrated by his lack of inspiration. They walk alone in the city at night, each lost in their thoughts and the soft glow of the neon lights. Then comes the soap opera twist. Renji bumps into Amaya's older sister, who has her own feelings for him. The three of them meet at a cafe. Amaya watches from afar as Renji and her sister laugh and talk, completely oblivious to the fact that she's eavesdropping on their conversation. Her sister reveals that she's been talking to Renji behind Amaya's back, and that she's going to confess her feelings for him soon. Amaya is shocked and hurt by her sister's betrayal. Meanwhile, Renji is struggling with his feelings for Amaya. He's torn between his love for her and his desire to protect her from the pain that his presence brings. The rain pours heavily. Back in her room, Amaya cries silently into her pillow, unsure of what to do. She loves Renji, but she also knows that he doesn't feel the same way about her. As she drifts off to sleep, she whispers his name into the darkness. Unbeknownst to Amaya, Renji is sketching her face in his notebook. He can't stop thinking about her, and he finds himself torn between his feelings for her and his fear of hurting her. The rain continues to pour outside as Renji sits alone in his room, lost in thought. He looks down at his notebook and sees Amaya's smiling face. A sense of determination washes over him, and he decides to go find her. Renji runs out into the rain, searching for Amaya. He remembers the exact spot where they first met and runs towards it. As he gets closer, he sees a familiar figure standing under the same street lamp. It's a Maya. They look up and see each other. The camera pans up to the night sky. The rain stops and the city lights begin to glow. Some stories don't end happily, but that doesn't make them any less real. This isn't a fairy tale, you know? This is love, fragile, flawed, and endlessly real. To be continued?